I painted this on Jello, technically gelatin, a gelatin plate. It's this big flat floppy thing. I covered it with paint with this rolly thing that's called a brayer. I laid a photo that I took on top of it face down. I gave it a gentle press up to reveal my photo on the gel plate. I touched up the edges. I painted the details first. I covered the whole thing in acrylic paint, covering everything I just painted. I covered it with paper. I let it dry overnight, peeled the gelatin plate off. And what's left is my photograph of Naples, Italy, reverse painted with the help of some gelatin. How to get started using this big floppy thing. It's a gel plate and it allows you to do image transfers from your own photographs. Add acrylic paint onto your gel plate with a brayer. Place a laser printed photograph on top of it. Mine is from this photograph. It's best if it's a high contrast black and white photo, high resolution. Apply a pickup layer, one color of paint over the whole thing. I'm just blocking off the edges for cleaner borders. Press down some smooth, strong paper like Bristol and let it dry. Once it's fully dry, you can lift it up and the paint releases from the gel plate. I'm using a Gelli Arts plate and Bristol board that is 250 gram with Amsterdam acrylic paints. Now you can also add a step where you do reverse painting before the pickup layer and add a lot more color to this. And you can check out my other videos if you'd like to see more about that. And yeah, that's how you can use this big floppy thing to create some really cool image transfer monotypes. Let me show you step by step how I do an image transfer with reverse painting. I'm going to do this print. It's a scene from Siena, Italy, and it all starts off with a thin layer of acrylic paint and a highly edited, high contrast, high resolution photograph that's laser printed. The image transfer works in this process with only laser printed images because the laser printer toner has itty bits of plastic in it, which makes it work. The reverse painting process, I let each layer dry and I build on those layers. I think a lot about my color theory and how the different layers of colors work together and the color relationships. And I work with small details and then bigger shapes as I move to the back. I put it on paper, then I let it dry. Oh, hey, that's an interesting book. You might want to check that out. After it's fully dry, I lift it off of the paper to reveal the print that is now attached to my substrate and no longer on my gel plate. And that is the step-by-step process of how to do an image transfer on a gel plate using reverse painting very quickly. If you like more detailed information, I do have a lot more information out there and I would love to share it with you. So yeah, it's a fun process, but could be a little frustrating at some points. Why this feels like magic. When you can pull one of your prints off of a gel plate, there's this dopamine hit and it's fantastic. But let me explain a little bit of how it works. You start off with a laser printed image, and yes, it needs to be laser printed. Mine has little tiny dots on it because that makes gray tones, mid-tones appear better in the printout because it concentrates the laser print toner in certain areas. I'm using a combination of couple colors to create a little bit of variation in my image transfer. You can just use one. Then I take my laser printout, and yes, not inkjet, laser printed. Go to your local library if you don't have a laser printer. Support your local library. Lay it down, give some even pressure, and what happens is that the acrylic paint soaks up into the printer paper every place that there's not toner. And the remaining acrylic paint stays on the gel plate every place there was those little tiny dots. Then you need to add some more acrylic paint. I'm using some acrylic white and some gel medium, which I've rolled out on my palette just to give a little bit of translucency and mush it around a little bit. This is your pickup layer. This is going to bond with that acrylic paint that's underneath and with your paper that you put on top. I'm using this Clairefontaine craft paper, which is archival and kind of looks really cool against the white for pickup layers, and you want to make sure that you have nice even pressure. So as that paint dries, it's like releases from the gel plate, but you do have to wait for it to be fully dry before you pull it off the gel plate. And that is the sciencey-ish parts of how this process works and how you can do image transfers with a laser printed image. I have tons of resources and details about how to edit your photos on my website. Have you been struggling to get a good magazine image transfer on your Gelli plate? I have some tips to make this a lot smoother. Tip number 1, the magazine matters. Not all magazines work the same, and not all photos in that magazine will work the same. Choose a high contrast photo. My images I chose from German Vogue. Number 2, you need to have good paint. I am using Amsterdam acrylics. Using your brayer, roll out a nice even layer. If you're planning on selling your work, please make sure you alter your image enough that you are not breaking any copyright. Apply pressure with a brayer, nice and even, and let it sit for less than 10 seconds. If too much of the paint is still left on the plate, put the photo back down and press a little bit longer. Once this layer is dry, you can move on to reverse painting. Select a variety of different colors of paints that you can build on layer by layer. This is where you can get really creative and transform it into something uniquely yours. After all those layers are dry, you're going to put one complete wet layer on top and then paper. Let that dry fully, perhaps even overnight. I like to put it under books to keep that constant pressure. When it's all dry, lift it up off the gel plate and you have your magazine image transfer with a Gelli plate. Have fun with the process and be ready to experiment. You asked how it works, and here it is. The gel plate has mineral oil, which naturally resists the acrylic paint that you apply on top. So if you take a laser printed image, it has little tiny bits of plastic in it wherever the toner is. So that will also resist the acrylic paint. So when you cover your plate with acrylic paint and you put your photo down, it naturally wants to resist off the gel plate and it wants to soak into the printer paper every place that there's not toner because it'll resist there. And it stays only on the plate in the areas that have the toner. And you can add tons of layers of paint on top of it and transfer it off of the gel plate and make things like this. One thing about Gelli printmaking that I totally did not expect going into it were moments like this.
That's so cool.
Parts is where the paint didn't stick.
And
it sticks on that.
Literally, that made me understand it.
This was a teaching moment I had not with students, but with one of my very close colleagues who came into my room curious about it, had her own photo. We printed it out and she worked on hers while I was demonstrating on mine. At the same time, there were 2 other kids in the class, 12th graders, who were working on this process as well. They didn't even take my class. And this is Santa Maria Novella in Florence, Italy. And guess what? Now I can teach you too, because I made a full-length YouTube video all about this process. The link is in the bio and it's fairly detailed, but let me know if you have any questions. How do you select what you're going to create an artwork about? In this case, I'm doing a gel plate image transfer of a very sort of mundane kind of thing. It's Americana, it's IHOP, so-called International House of Pancakes. For me, this is quite important because this particular IHOP and similar things remind me of going home. If you know anything about me, you know that I'm an American who has been living in several different countries. And one of the things that I miss about going back to the States is getting breakfast 24 hours a day. And so when I was back over the summer, I was at IHOP, I was with my family, and I really wanted to capture both my love for this place, but also the grittiness. By the way, I'm printing this on an old print, a print that didn't come out that well, because I was kind of hoping that some of that grittiness and texture might come through with the image transfer process. Because of all the bubbles, I really didn't think it would work. I was super happy with the way it came out. I went in and upped the contrast by painting on top of the Monotype. I find that this just elevates it, makes it pop a little bit, and here's the final one. I should not have done that. And I'm not talking about getting paint in my hands because let's face it, there's always paint in my hands. I am doing a gel plate image transfer. This is a photo I took and I edited it, printed out all the ways I normally do, and it did not work because this happens. I tap it still wet. I lay out some more acrylic paint. Unfortunately, too much acrylic paint, so I scoop some out with my hands because let's face it, I always have paint on my hands. I roll out another layer of acrylic paint, fairly certain that my new image is not going to transfer. I am very pleasantly surprised that it does transfer. The only thing is that it's a little bit blurrier, but then I call in my daughter who's helping me lean into this blurriness. We add a layer of gel medium and then I go in and paint into the wet gel medium to kind of keep this whole blurry feel. And after letting it dry onto a piece of Bristol overnight, I peel off the gel medium and I go back in and I'm reworking the image. Try to create some more detail in some areas and less detail in others. And here is the final work. Details in the caption, including all my supplies. I can't believe it worked. I was totally prepared for failure, but it worked. This is a 16 by 20 inch Gelli plates, and I'm using it to create image transfer monotypes like you see right here. And I can't believe this just worked. I am so excited. Now, let me explain how this all came about. I've been waiting a long time to get one of these big plates because working this scale allows me to combine some of the concepts I use in my oil paintings into my printmaking a little bit more. You see, in my oil paintings, I tend to use my photographs to create double exposures, and these are some examples of that work. So working this large, I can then take my photographs and create a collage out of them. And I didn't know if the image transfer process would work. One, because I'm working so large, and two, because I'm creating layers of laser prints over one another, and I didn't know whether they would print as well. So the images I chose to collage together are these two people who were sitting so well dressed and lovely outside of a market in France, and then images from Versailles. And I just wanted to juxtapose those images together to see how they would play together. Now, these are all my photographs that I'm doing this with. The next part of this is for me to do the reverse image painting and see if it actually will print, because I'm not confident it will get off of the plate. Part 2 will be up as soon as I'm done. This thing is a beast. I mean, it is incredibly large. I have to kind of rethink how I handle it. So this is part 2 of my image transfer on my incredibly large, beautifully brand new 16 by 20 Gelli plates. And I was shocked that it actually worked, because also it's a new plate, and a lot of times with new plates you need to condition it, and then it was ready for reverse image painting. But in order to do this really well and not have the acrylic paint pool up in any areas, I'm applying a coat of gel medium, just satin gel medium over the whole thing, and then I'm going to let that dry. When the gel medium dries fully, it is completely transparent. You can tell I did not wait for it to dry fully. I was like, I need to start painting. Plus, I'm doing this after school and I did have to go home at some point. Gelli print monotypes take a lot of preparation and planning, but also flexibility to be able to work creatively when things don't go your way. When you are doing the reverse image painting, you need to consider what colors you want to shine through first. So that first layer is incredibly important. Later on, as I work, I become a little bit more free-flowing and creative with where I place the paint. It is still quite focused on the composition and the balance of the color palette, but since many of these layers will be hidden behind, I don't have to be quite as meticulous as I do during that first initial layer. Once everything's painted on, I let it dry the best that I can, and then I add my transfer layer. Transfer layers are just a layer of acrylic, whether it's gel medium or acrylic paint. Then you put your paper on top, and theoretically, once it dries, all of those layers of acrylic paint will attach to the paper and release from the gel plate in some sort of magical way. So if you made it this far, I just want to thank all of you that have purchased my work recently or way in the past. Originals and prints, the links in the bio. I am just very grateful for the support. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. This one is working. It peeled off quite well, a tiny bit sticking, and then once it came off, I just touched up a little bit, added a little bit of color on top for some areas that I felt needed a little bit of contrast. So here's the final work, and let me know what you think. I'm gonna have a lot more fun with this plate. I know it.